In a previous video, I talked about a mistake that many storytellers make is that they tell their stories in what we call reporter mode. They present facts about a situation or an experience, but they don't get into the emotional aspect. In many ways, it feels like they're reading off of a PowerPoint slide or a PDF. And as we've told many people, and I was told early in my career, if that's all you're going to do, just hand us the PDF and save us the trouble of giving the speech. All right, a little harsh, but there's a solid point underneath that. We want to create stories that become experiences. We need to bring them to life. How do we do that? Well, there are two ways. The first is to create an emotional connection. How do you do that? Well, 6 words below me are how the 6 common emotions that all human beings experience: happiness, anger, sadness, surprise, disgust, and fear. When you can work those into your stories, then you'll begin to create that bond with your audience. And how do you use these? Well, you typically put them in dialogue. That's a subject for another video. So a quick example is early in my speaking career, I had some terrific mentors. They were world champions of public speaking through Toastmasters. And I set a goal early on. I want to be on their level someday. I want to be able to speak at events with them and have the kind of impact they do. Well, I thought, I should go win the world championship of public speaking. So I competed for several years, many years, and I came close, but never won that title. So I got pretty frustrated by that. And I just thought, I'm never going to be on their level. But then another opportunity came up, something that I never anticipated. I didn't even notice it, but my mentors did. My mentors who were world champions and who saw things in me I couldn't see. And because of that, it created opportunities. And today I get to speak on stages with the people who I look up to still as heroes and mentors and coaches. All right. Not a very exciting narrative, is it? Very fact-based. Compare that with when I was early in my speaking career, I made this decision. I want to be on stage with my mentors and coaches, the people I look up to. Well, many of them were world champions, so I decided that's what I'm going to do. So every year I'd enter the contest, and I'd have some success, and I'd win some contests, and then I'd get to a high level, and I was never announced as the winner. And this happened year after year after year. And I got really frustrated. And at one point I got disillusioned, and I thought, I'm never going to accomplish this goal. And then one day I got an opportunity from one of my coaches, Darren, to be part of an event to fill in for one of my other coaches, Craig, who had been injured, and they wanted me to help coach at an event where Craig lives. And I hopped on the opportunity. I thought, this would be awesome. I get to be on stage with my mentors, Darren and Craig, 2 people I looked up to, and actually had to fill in for Craig because he had an injury. And that was the start of a brand new path. And because of the success of that event, Darren and other coaches started opening new opportunities for me, and I started to gain confidence. And I thought, maybe this can happen. And it all culminated in 2018 when I was sitting on a stage, and I looked to my right, and I saw 4 of my speaking heroes, members of the Speakers Hall of Fame, world champions of public speaking, all people that I'd looked up to for years, and me. And I thought, I made it. I got to be on stage with my heroes, and they were treating me as a peer. It wasn't the way I thought I'd get there, but I made it. Can you see the difference between the first version and the second one? A little more emotion, took you into my head through dialogue, and I tied into some of those 6 common emotions. So if you want your stories to have more impact, the first step is to incorporate one or more of these emotions, typically through dialogue. Do that and you'll have a greater impact on your audience. In the next video, we'll talk about a second tool to use to create more of a connection and bring your stories to life to create that experience, it all has to do with vaccinations. No, not that kind. We're not talking about that one. That one's way too controversial. This is the kind of vaccine everybody can agree on. We'll talk to you in that video.